What's good, guys? Hope y'all are doing well. We're going to be taking a look at XRP, Bitcoin, and just a few other coins that you guys have. Remember in the last stream, I did say that we wigged up to this 178.6% fib, and then we also have a change of character right here. Right? This is your change of character where we take out this high before we have this 25% drop within about 1 day and 16 hours. So about 2 days, we had a 25% drop. And I do think that time versus price really matters in trading. And it's something that everyone should pay attention to. The velocity of the moves to the upside and to the downside. And you can see if you take a fib from this swing high, right? So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you take a fib from the top of 3 down to 4, or what you perceive as a 3 and a 4, and look at the 1.786, you could see that we didn't get over it, and then we also swept this high. So let's see here. Now, in order to invalidate more downside here to these deeper fibs, we would need to see a move on XRP above this level right here at 219, 2.18 to 2.1973. Okay. And then what you can also do is you want to look for a point of interest on a little bit of a higher time frame. So you're just going to zoom out here. You can even take a look on the daily. Take a fib from this drop off point. So if this was an ABC, or if this marked the top of your exhaustion before you had this deep retrace, you would want to take a fib from this high. You can even consider this like your internal range liquidity, right? So if we drop back down to the 4 hour and we look at the fibs relative to this high here on March 2nd, we have your EQ right here. This is your equilibrium, okay? Right here. So at $2.30. Now you can kind of consider like the 50% like your balance point within the range, like you can call it your equilibrium. And then anything above the 50% would be premium. Anything below the 50% would be discount. So if we look at where the market is relative to this drop-off point, we're still in discount territory, right? So I think there is a big possibility we come to 230, and then and then if we get above EQ and make our way into premium at the 618 and the 70. One sec, guys. So, like I was saying, if we, it's likely that if we went to premium at the 618 and the 702 at 246 and 258, then it's very likely that the bottom is in, because then that would mean that this is a reaccumulation structure right here, right? right? This is a Wyckoff reaccumulation. Doesn't look too bad, actually. You see, it's actually above, it's above this range. You see? Like the lower half of the range. Right? So if we end up going back to the 618 or even below it at $1.85, then it would start looking a little bearish, right? Then we would have to be concerned for a move to take out this low, right? It depends. We'll have to see level for level, but looking for a move above 219 if this was the low. If we take out $2.04, then it's very likely we'll go to $2 to $1.93, right? And then we'll see some action from there. So in the Telegram, not sure if all of you have joined, but I did post a XRP wave count showing that we were within a rising wedge formation here. But now, like I said in yesterday's stream, sometimes this is what you may see in the market if the low is in, right? If the low is in. You have or if it's the start of an impulsive move, right? You have your rising wedge like this, right? And when you see your fifth wave, like just by eyeing it, it comes down. Everyone goes short up here. And all throughout this move below the support of this rising wedge. And you have all of these market participants thinking it's going to go in for a little bit of a deeper retrace, either for a wave 2 pullback, or this is an ABCDE, a corrective formation. But what it really does is it only just comes down about 23.6 to 38.2% of the way down, and then it does this, and it goes back to the highs, right? And then this was a rising wedge fake out. I've seen it so many times in the market. It's a really common retail trap. So let's just see. Will this be a fake out, or are we going to go down deeper? Right, let's see. We need to get above this level. My mic has an echo sound? Oh. Yeah, okay, I turned it down. Should be good now. Is that better? I think most of my followers are like they operate in New York session. This is Asian session right now, because I'm still in Asia, so yeah, so we want to see this lower level hold here. The lower half of this range. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking here. One of the members in the Discord, he showed me this, or he put this in the Discord, and it could be reaccumulation here. But the only thing is that this support needs to hold, right? Or this 618 max at $1.85, because then if it goes below the 618, that would be a little too deep, and then we would have to be cognizant of a move below these lows. Let's take a look at BTC. I made a chart here on BTC for my members. Let me see here. I think I put it in here. Yeah, okay. This is BTC. You see how on the daily time frame it's reacted off this level as support, right? You see how many times the price wicks on it as support here and then uses it as resistance here, support, resistance, and now it's using it as support here as we approach, or as we've already approached the 78.6% fib at 85,579. So it's crucial that we get back over that 786 in order to validate a higher move. You can see we're in premium, like I showed you with XRP, right? Just take your fib, put the 1 in 0 and the 50% fib on it. See, we're in premium. More specifically, we hit the 786. So will we see a flush come Friday, New York session, or London session? Or will she get above 85,579 and then take out Tuesday's high at 86,455? So we'll see. Okay, so we'll put some moving averages onto the chart. We want to see if price can get above the 9 and 21 period moving average. More specifically on the 4-hour time frame. I like to use the 4-hour time frame when I track when I want to track the trend in the immediate term. So this is the 21 on the 4-hour. So you can just type in SMA on your indicator section, go into the settings, and then make sure this time frame is at 4-hour, and then look at 21 and 50. Okay, so it's above the 50 period, but below the 21. So let's see. And we're also on that high time frame support I was showing you guys. So let's see if it holds this level, takes out Tuesday's high, or drops down to the 50 period, towards the 50% towards the 38.2% at 81,949. See, same as XRP, right? Rising wedge. This is XRP. Same. But I just seen like in the market so many times people short the hell out of this, and then it pops up like that. So let's see, could be a fake out. What's up, guys? Hope y'all are well. Hope you're doing well, Simon. Glad to have you in here. Good morning from Germany. Good morning, bro. What's up, Jose? So Jose says Friday will be low volume day with Good Friday. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And Timothy is asking, do you still think XRP will hit the $5 mark this cycle, or should we be ready for a drop? Yeah, I do think $5 gets hit. Actually, in yesterday's stream, I showed the Wave 5 targets. So I'm not sure most of you got that, because the stream was it took a long time, like it was like 3 hours. So we'll take a look at it again, and I'll show you the Wave 5 targets. Like it looks so like I'm just taking a look at Bitcoin again here, and like how many people are shorting this? How many people see this as a rising wedge and are shorting that? I've seen it so many times in the market, and then it just goes like that, and then boom, and then they all flip long on the Godwick, and then it has a manipulation move down, and then boom, some crazy shit like that. But yeah, okay, let's take a look at XRP here. And yeah, we'll take a look at the Wave 5 targets. If this is the low. So if this is the low, right here, then I'll show you the Wave 5 targets. If this low changes and goes lower, then the targets will change as well. So what I do is I just take a trend-based fib. Now, to find your Wave 5 targets, you want to take a trend-based fib from the bottom of 1 to the top of your Wave 3 and down to the bottom of your expected Wave 4. Now, you can take a look at it on the logarithmic scale, right? Whenever you're using trend-based fibs, always take a look at it on the log scale. And then whenever you're using regular fibs, it's okay to use the linear scale. That's my rule, right? So if this is the low, then these are your Wave 5 targets right here. I think the max it can go is 14, 15 bucks, like absolute peak, you know? And I don't want you guys to be waiting to take profit there. That's the last thing I want you guys to do. Because what if it's a wick, like something like this, right? Like this was a wick back then. So I want you guys to take profit all the way up. And you know, 740 has always been on my mind for years. $7.40. And you can see there, it's at the 702. 0.702 right there, 744. Okay, now, well, what we can also do is just take a fib from what we think is our Wave 3 high down to the bottom of our expected Wave 4 low. And you want to take a look at it on the linear scale. so you can get the most conservative targets as possible. And it's just because I noted, like, from my years in the market, this is the best combination of fibs you can use: the trend base and the log, and then the linear regular fibs. So you can see here how well this lines up, like perfectly, right? It's crazy. You see that? Okay. So lots of confluence there at 9.20 and $6.30. Yeah, so I do think it'll go higher than $4.80, $5. I think 6.30 makes sense. And then I'm sure because of all the euphoria, it'll take it to 9.20, maybe even 14. What I've noticed is it always overshoots to 4.236. Like, for example, here, if you take a fib from the 2017 high down to the low, look how it overshot it. You guys see that? But relative to the bear market, it was still the top, right? You still got out. Like this doesn't make much of a difference if you're getting out here. That's why I say don't sell all of it, keep some aside. And we can even take a look at some of the higher values, like 5.618 or 4.618, 5.618. And yeah, I would say that's max for the regular fibs. So yeah, 11, maybe even 11 to 14. Just take profit all the way up and you'll do fine. Let's go back to XRP here, or sorry, to Bitcoin. Okay, I'm gonna pop up the chat, and yeah, I'm gonna take a look at some of your coins here. Let's take a look at. Thank you so much, Gaining Value. I appreciate that, bro. Nice to have you here. And let's take a look at silver. I'm starting to stack a lot of silver. Okay, it's likely gonna take out these highs here. This is your equal high buy side liquidity. This should go up because we have COMEX silver rising exponentially. There's a scramble for silver. I posted it in the Discord for my members. Really cool chart just showing the COMEX silver and gold reserves going up. Okay, so this is the daily time frame on gold. This current chart goes back to October 2023, and it's currently trending up. So it's likely it's going to take out this high here at 34.5. we have a daily inefficiency over here. Okay. So you may wick down to this region, 31.7 to 31.35, or we just go straight up and take this guy out at 34.57. What we can also do is just take a look at silver from more of a higher time frame. Like this is the weekly time frame here on silver. And it's going to take out these highs here at 48.3. This is also your equal high buy side liquidity. This is your external range, right? This is the top of your cup and handle pattern. This is your handle right here. You guys see this? This is your classic cup and handle pattern. And yeah, simple as that. And then you got your downtrend, very short downtrend. Reminds me a lot like how XRP acted back in the day. Like, let's see here. You see? Boom, hits your 786 on the linear. You guys see how perfect that is? How well it hit the 786 there? If we take a fib from our bear market here in 91 up to the top of our bull in 2011, look how it has your established range here. Look how the market makers work. You have your established range that you've been in from 2015 to 2020, and then during that COVID dip, it wicked below, took out all of this sell side, tags the 786, and then rallies from there. That's why I think like COVID-19, it was a very big opportunity for market makers. And then it comes down to tap this range, and now we have continuation up. So here's what I'm looking for the next targets. We can take a fib from this high in 2011 down to the tag of this 786, and I'm looking at 76 to be taken. These are all the targets here. Okay, so I'm looking for 34.58 to get taken out, 40.94, and then 56 to 62 after that. So this is a cup and handle pattern. That's all it is. Still holding above the 200-day. We actually dipped below it here, and then we had I guess you can call this a piercing line reversal, because it pierces the low of last week and then closes back into the range. You see how we took out this low on December 16th the week of December 16th, 2024. So actually, in April, we took out the December low. That's really nice. I'm just going to share this with my Discord members. December lows taken, right? Okay, so yeah, that's silver. Okay, let's take a look at XRP here. Let's go back. You know, XRP, I'm looking at the 200 day, and look how well it's holding the 200 day on the weekly. Like, that's so bullish. Doesn't look bearish here. Good morning, Daniel. Hope all is well, bro. Glad to have you here. How are you, Daniel? Let's take a look at API 3 for sure. That's a good coin. Let's see here. API 3. So the weekly, it doesn't look bullish. We would need, okay, in order for us to get out of this right here, in order for us to get something like this on API 3, which I would say is less likely, just judging by the way this market structure looks. I mean, it's possible, right? Because we did fill this daily fair value gap. So let's see. I mean, taking a look on the weekly, you see here, this is a long-legged doji on the weekly. So last week's candle was a long-legged doji, and then this current week, we're reaching for the lows of last week. And we're already below the open of last week as well. So what we would need to see is a move back above the low of last week, which is 0.7291, a move back above that level in order to invalidate a move below this low here at 0.4973, right? So like you have to think as well, like where, I'm sure if we did come down here to 0.4973, then the rest of the market would also be coming down as well. You always have to think in terms of where the rest of the market is going to be, right? So we would need to see a move back above last week's open, which is 0.7291, and then if we take a look on the 4-hour time frame, basically it would just look something like this. But this looks corrective right here. It does. You know, so a lot of like we need to see BTC reverse first. Let's just see here, right? You know what I've also noticed, like if Bitcoin is very strong, altcoins can look like absolute death like this, and then once it gains momentum and then breaks out, the alts start to reverse. Like even though like in the thick of it looks bad, alts would start to reverse if Bitcoin reversed eventually, right? And continues its trend. Otherwise, it's going to come down. This is an interesting structure that we have here on BTC. If we can reach for these highs at 85,767, it wouldn't surprise me we go ahead for the breakout towards the 200. This is the 200 right here at 87,757. If we go ahead and take out these lows at 83,245, then you already know what's going to happen, right? It's going to come down to these fibs right here. And like I said in my previous stream, my bias is it's leaning towards bullish, more so than bearish, considering how low we've dropped already from the highs. But a bear could argue that we have equal lows here that needs to get taken. This is our equal low sell side liquidity, right? With our draw on liquidity being this huge daily fair value gap. Okay, that would be your draw on liquidity at around 74.4 and 74.25. That's the bearish scenario, and alts would really they would go down. But I'm optimistic here. I'm optimistic. It's still ranging, so let's see. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 here. Something interesting that I saw yesterday. Yeah, I mean we gapped down at open right here. We filled it partially, but then the downtrend resumed. Let me see here. Let's put the 21 and 50 day on the chart. And the 9 day. All right, so it's above the 9-day moving average. We'll see. Rising wedge or fake out? Rising wedge or bear trap? So it looks bearish. Like we have bearish divergence here on the S&P, but yeah, we would just need to clear these levels at 53.97, and then of course the high is at 5,454. So we have that bearish divergence here, right? We have a little bit of a rising wedge. Same thing to Bitcoin, but we briefly went below the 9 period, tagged the 38.2% fib. All we would need to see now is just a move above this gap that we had yesterday. And then of course this diagonal trend line. If we can get a move back to the 200-day, which I'm thinking happens, then that would be pretty good. And you can also see the 50-day is right above it. So the 50 and 200, actually this is a death cross right here. So if we can back test that death cross, you know, or will we just keep going down? I don't know. Let's see. Let's check out USDT DOM. So what we can do is take a fib from the high of last week down to the low of last week. If we get back above 5.79% or 5.8%, which is EQ, then yeah, Bitcoin may come down a little. And then we can have bearish buys in the short term. We'll see. Something that I've also noticed is if you take a fib from the August high on USDT DOM down to the low on December, look where we've come up to. We came up to the 786. So was that the top right there on USDT dominance, which would mean we've already seen the bottom on Bitcoin if that was the top on USDT DOM. You can see it looks exactly like Bitcoin. Or no, it looks like ETH. But yeah, it moves the opposite to that of crypto. So we'll see. Is this the top because it hit the 786 here? Or do we get a move above EQ of our weekly range at 5.78% and then come to test these highs again? That's the 3-day MACD. Looks bearish. We got a cross forming there. I mean, you can see here. You can see here that we've actually been dropping off at this part of the range on the MACD every single time, which marked the top. You see this? That's our supply on the 3-day MACD. And you can see every time it's hit that level, we've had a reaction on the price. Do you see that? So will we get the same thing here? Because we have the histogram turning down towards the 0 line, MACD crossing at supply, USDT dominance comes up to the 786. Let's see what she does here. Let's see if we can stay below this EQ at 5.78% and then come back down to take out these equal lows, or your equal low sell side liquidity. Okay, let's see. Rai is saying, surely we've been rinsed enough. Yeah, I know, right? Good morning. Hope all is well. Yeah, man, we've been rinsed a lot, for sure. It's crazy. I think BlackRock is buying BTC. I think I read that somewhere this morning. Like they're slowly buying now. But you know something I've noticed here, like on XRP, it's holding that 200 day. I don't see anyone talking about that. That it's holding the 200. You know? Like this is so strong. And you can see, like, look on the weekly, how it just took out all of these lows. You guys see that? It took out all of these lows, even this low right here, this suicide wick on February 3rd when Bybit got hacked. The week of February 3rd, it even took that out. But then look how it closed. It closed back into the range as a bullish hammer. And now this weekly closes in about 3 days and 19 hours. And it's forming as a doji. If it forms as a doji, then my bias will remain bullish. If it comes down back below the 200, then we'll be bearish. And you can even see the 3-day MACD is attempting to cross. It hasn't crossed yet, but it's attempting here. It could take some time, right? Like if XRP was up here, you'd probably see the cross like that. But let's just check here on the daily and see. Yeah, it looks good. Looks fine. All right, let's take a look at Filecoin. We'll take a look at some coins here. Filecoin and another good coin that I've been eyeing. I just want to see where I put it, because I have so many layouts. Nvidia looks good, man. Nvidia doesn't look too bad. I think it's going to come fill this gap here. I want to show you this real cool day trading strategy. I'll tell you guys it. I'll show you guys later, but let's first look at Filecoin. Is this it? No, this is not it. Oh, I think it's because okay, it's right here, yeah. This is it right here. You guys see? Now this is if this weekly low holds here. We all have to take a look at BTC. Remember, BTC is the one driving the liquidity in the market. For now at least. So if BTC can hold, remember I was showing you guys this range, right? You see this range here on the hourly? Doesn't look too bad, right? We'll see. And if BTC broke out, and let's just say this is our bottom, then yeah, Filecoin and the rest of the altcoins would have expansion. As you can see, you see how it deviated below this 3-year long range. This was from December 2022. And then it's deviated below. You have a three up in your A, 3 down in your B, and then a 5-wave move to the upside. Worst case scenario is that this is a wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be ultra worst case scenario, but Bitcoin would really need to shit the bed if that were to happen, right? This looks good here on BTC. If we can get a move above 85,862, then it's very likely we're going to break out. You can kind of consider this like a Darvis box or reaccumulation, but we've just been chopping here, right? But yeah, this is my bias on Filecoin. Okay. Now, my target is 18. And it could go higher. But the reason I'm thinking it only goes to this region is because this could, I'm not saying it is, this could be a wave 4. You see what I'm saying? Because this is our wave 1, wave 2. This was your third wave. Accumulation at the lows, deviation below established range. And then we have your distribution. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Or this is an ABC. And then this comes down to the top of the range. Worst case scenario being down to around $8.79 to $9. And then we continue up from there. That's less likely in my opinion. You just want to capture most of the move and get out, right? Think like a market maker. What would a market maker do, right? They want to get out at the top of distribution when euphoria is at its peak. But it could go higher. Usually my targets are very conservative. It's just the way I trade. Let's go back to BTC here. Let's take a look at PulseX. You know, every stream we take a look at PulseX. That's what I've noticed. Every stream. And hey guys, like, I don't have time to timestamp the videos. So if you want to help someone out, just comment the timestamp on whatever coin you wanted in the comments. So like if other people you can go back to it, and then if other people want to look at it, they can. So yeah, let's take a look at PulseX here. You know, I'm super bullish on the Pulsechain ecosystem right now. Like, just by the way the moves are looking, like in last stream, I saw incentive token, and I immediately knew, like, yeah, like something it looks like it's brewing. Let's see here. Let's see. I could be wrong, but this is what I'm thinking on PulseX. Like, it hasn't changed the analysis. You see, it's just within this ascending accumulation, right? You're going to have a lot of chop here, but as soon as you get above 402259, which is this historical diagonal support that we've been using for about 3 years, once you get above that level, then we can say, okay, we're going to move to the POC of this macro range. The POC or POC, it's point of control. It's where 70% or more of the volume is traded within a trading range. So if we can get above this level over here, then it's likely we're going to go to POC, see a little bit of a retrace, and then have continuation up to the 702.786. As soon as you get above the 702.786, I would say even if you get to this level, that would be big telltale signs that we've already seen the bottom and we're going to head to this target, right? Worst case scenario is that PulseX is a failed project and this was a wave 4 and this comes down for a wave 5 like that, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be bad. But I don't think that's going to happen. So let's just be patient and let's just take a look at these fibs here on the 4-hour. We can take a fib from this low here on March 31st up to this high on April 13th. Okay? And these are your fibs right here. These are all your supports. Basically, we don't want to see a move below 401.555. Is this 4 zeros here? Yeah, it's 4 zeros. Yeah. Okay, but PulseX looks good. My views haven't changed. Risky coin, but if it hits, then it'll be good. Let's go back to BTC. Guys, what if I made a 24-hour XRP stream? Like, I may not be on all like 24 hours, but like it's just like you just see XRP, and I'll put like a few indicators on there, so you guys can just check it out all the time. I think Alex Cobb had something like that, where you can just check XRP whenever, and it was like a live or something like that. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at Vchain here. Doesn't look bad. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of the price targets here. We're going to take a fib from the all-time high down to the low in June. And take a look at it on the log scale. And I would be targeting around 14 to 15 cent at the 786. So let's just say this was the bottom on Bitcoin, just for the sake of this analysis. If this was the bottom on BTC and this was our deviation below our diagonal support on Vchain, then we'd be taking a look at like a rounded bottom towards the 786 if BTC is bottomed. And we get back above the 200-day. That's what I think. However, so these are all the supports, and if we take a fib from this low here on June 5th up to this high on December 2nd, you can see we came down to the 786 here. You see? And like I say in mostly all my videos, the 786, you can treat it like an extreme. You can even treat the 886 like an extreme as well, right? Very, very simple. Come down to the 786, 886, then you're likely to see a reversal there. You lose that level, then we're going to make a new low. So let's just see, was this deviation below diagonal support here on Vchain? We would need to hold this level first. This current weekly candle, it needs to see a resolution to the upside. Because this is you can kind of consider it like a shooting star, a bearish shooting star, but these can also reverse on the next week. These can be invalidated on the next week's price action. So we don't want to see a close below the EQ of last week. Okay, EQ is sitting at 0.021. We can also add the 618 in there as well. So taking a look here on the 4-hour time frame, same type of a range with BTC. The only difference is we took out these lows. So let's see. And then of course, I do think that Vchain will go above the 786 at 14 to 15 cent. So in that case, we would take a fib from this high, the same way we place the fib, but take a look at it on the linear scale instead. Because you want to get the most conservative targets above the last all-time high. And we'd be taking a look at 44 cent. I've actually had 44 cent as a target on Vchain for quite some time now. 44 to 50 cent. It could go higher for sure. I don't doubt it. But these are the targets for now. Okay? Those are your targets. Absolute worst case scenario, BTC shits the bed here, goes down below this low, goes to around 70,400, and Vchain, this move here would be considered a corrective structure. And then we have continuation down. That would be absolute carnage. But I'm optimistic here. Let's see if we can get a reversal. I'm always going to show you my bias and give you both the bullish and bearish scenario. And remember, I wish my TA controls the market, but it doesn't. I'm just here to show you these levels and the scenarios. Thank you so much, AJS. I really appreciate that. All right. So let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. A few people are asking for BTC Dom in the chat. Viking Boat says 44 cent would be amazing. Holy F. Yeah, I've had 44 cent as a target for some time. Because think about it, right? This is your first leg in the market for Vchain. This was from 2020 to 2021. This was your bear market. And the only reason we went sideways, this is still a sideways range, is because of Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin was stealing the spotlight this whole time. But that's actually good because you have time-based capitulation. And like I say in my videos, you want to look for two things to consider an asset bullish. And that would be number one, price-based capitulation. We went down by over 94.69% from the highs. And we've consolidated sideways for over 1,000 days. Even though we had this push up here to around the 50% and then came back down, still accumulation, hasn't broken out yet. XRP holders have had it worse. This is like baby food. This is nothing. This is going to break out. So Lala is asking for CRV. We can definitely take a look at CRV. No problem. All right, let's take a look at BTC Dom first. Doesn't look bad. Where is this? 64.2%. Let's go on the weekly time frame. This weekly still looks strong, guys. So like I said in my last stream, we're likely going to 66. If we take a fib from this drop-off point in December 2020, the week of December 28th, where we had our bull market for the altcoins, down to this low in September 2022. And just simply take a look at the 786. And we haven't hit it yet. I mean, if you take a look at it on the log scale, we've already hit it. But judging by the strength of the weekly, it's more likely than not it'll hit it on the linear. You can see on the linear we've hit the 702 here on the Bybit hack. Now we're above the 702. So what I'm thinking is we see a push up here, and that would, I guess, be the last bit of BTC. So this is why I'm saying we need Bitcoin to rally first. Bitcoin dominance needs to push up to 66.2% in the process. And then we need to see a topping tail. We need to see a topping tail in regards to the candlestick formation once it comes to the 786 here. And then we also need to see Bitcoin consolidate. That will be the switch when alts go absolute ballistic. See, alts can go up even though Bitcoin dominance is going up. But we want like huge, like big rallies, like green day after green day after green day. So something like that back in 2020, we need those things to occur. where we see the topping tail off 66.28%. And we would be targeting this weekly inversion fair value gap right here at 46.8 to 44.67. And if it did go up to 66.28, that would be right there at the 702 and the 786. You guys see that? How perfectly that lines up, right? Like I said, there's always a PD array at the 702 and 786. It's so crazy how that works, right? So, and now like from an Elliott wave point of view on Bitcoin dominance, I'm thinking that this is just a ending diagonal. This is the exact same thing the Dow Jones did back in the 80s. I'll show you. Let me try to find it here. Do you guys see that? Is that not the same thing? Wave 1, wave 2, you got your wave 3 here, and this would be a, no wait, this is your third, fourth, then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would make sense. And then you have a wave 5 extension. See how elongated this wave 5 is? Like imagine having a short bias within this, like it would be hell, right? Or sorry, a long bias, because a short bias, because it would just be ranging, and a lot of traders get chopped out if they can't see what's going on, right? So this is an elongated wave 5, and then I'm thinking, yeah, so we'll put all the wave counts here. This would be sub-minuet. This is your wave 3, like this. Then you have your ABC down. This is like perfect ending diagonal structure. I'm surprised I haven't seen something like this like on social media. Like I haven't seen any Bitcoin dominance. Maybe it's just my feed, I don't know. But I haven't seen someone point this out because it looks exactly like an ending diagonal. And then you're going to have an ABC within each of these waves, within the ending diagonal, right? So you have an ABC up in your 1, ABC down in your 2, ABC in your 3, ABC in your 4, and then ABC in your 5. And then you come down from there, like this. And then on the macro, like back from 2021, it would just be an ABC. That's all it would be. Boom. Right? ABC up in your A, ABC down in your B, and then a 5-wave move to the upside. There you go. And then what you can also do is take a trend-based fib from the bottom of your 1. Remember how I showed you guys how to find your wave 5? Trend-based fib from the bottom of 1 to the top of 3 and down to the bottom of your counter trend. So the 1-to-1 extension is right there. There you go, right? We got some confluence there. And then we can also just take a look at the trend-based fib targets, or sorry, the ending diagonal wave 5 target by doing the exact same thing, right? And instead of the 1, we're going to take a look at the 786, and it's literally right at that exact same level. You see that? You see the confluence and how well that lines up. Like exact. And then you may see a wick to 66.28, and then get a close below 65 if we get up there. Yeah, that's Bitcoin Dom. So Viking Boat says if BTC Dom were to go to 67%, the market would need a last hard leg down. Possibly, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because Bitcoin can go up, right? While alts consolidate, and Bitcoin dominance could also go up. So Declan is asking, can you do gold, please? For sure. Lala is saying, thank you, bro. Love from Australia. Nice to have you here, bro. We're gonna take a look at CRV, and then we're gonna take a look at gold. We'll take a look at some other coins that I've missed here. RSR for sure. You know what? Let's take a look at heat map. Let's just do something a little bit. Let's just zone out from the TA for a sec and just see where this liquidity is at right now. And look at that. It's literally to the upside and downside. So let's just see at 85, 144, about 60.6 million in liquidations. 83, 499 at around 55 million. This is the 2-week time frame here. We have a lot of liquidity up here. Remember I was showing you guys this? I was showing you guys this range right here. This small range. You guys see this? And look, it's reaching for it. And then if you pair this, see, this is your range. This is your small range here that I marked out right here. And then if you look, 154 million, 160 million in liquidations above these highs here at 86,369. I'm just going to share this to my Discord members just in case some of them are not in the stream, because I know like a lot of my Discord members, they're from different time zones, so I'm just going to share this with them. Yeah, so we got some liquidity up there. I don't think I shared this to my Discord members. I accidentally didn't. I don't think I shared it. I only shared it to the Telegram by mistake. So I'll just share it to them right now. All right, so I actually like this setup now. Now that I'm looking at Vchain more, I like it. Like, I like this sweep and then retraction back in to this range. So, Viking Boat is saying, I love XRP, but it totally makes sense to rotate XRP into VET. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, your logic makes sense. However, wait till we see some more momentum first, right? Because we don't want to say for sure, oh, okay, this is the bottom, right? And just rotate at the wrong points. Because what if XRP goes up? Like, okay, whenever you sell your token or you convert your token to another coin, always have the thought in your mind that the coin that you sold is gonna just shoot right up right after you sell it. That way you can anticipate, like you get, and you have to be okay with that decision. You know, like if you were to do something like that. So always like be careful, you know, like when you look at TA with all of these targets, like think it through. Like don't make rash decisions. Wait till things go up first a little bit, just so we can get confirmation of the bottom. We don't have confirmation yet, guys. Let's see BTC here. You know, something I noticed on XLM is that it came down to the 702. Like, look at this. XLM. See, market doesn't look too bad right now. We just need to flip this level right here. We're flipping it on the hourly. I want to see a couple closes above it. Take a look at the 9 and 21 day, or 9 and 21 period on the 4-hour. Okay, it's above the 9 and 21. Okay, so it's pretty good. Let's see where the 50's at. Okay, using the 9 and 50 period as support, breaking above this trend line liquidity, and piercing through the 21 period. See how it reacts to this level here. Okay, if we can get above this level here, then like I said, this is a rising wedge bear trap, right? You have an apparent 5 waves, which is very evident to the naked eye. We come down slightly and then retract, and then we retract back to the highs. So do we have something like that on our hands here? Or is it just a fake out? More importantly, XLM relative to its November lows. Look where it's come down to. Came down to the 786. Do you guys see that? And this is where I place the fib, just so you guys can mark up your chart. Now, you know the reason I do these lives is mostly so I can teach you guys how I do the analysis, and so you can see what I see in the market every day. I'll try to do these lives every day. I can't do it every day, but I'll try to start doing more of them. So as you guys can see, XLM has come down to the 786 here. In order to validate more upside, we would need to just get above this level here. Very simple. At 0.2439 to 0.2475, right? Let's check out BTC here. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, let's take a look at gold. Man, gold is on a tear. It's on an absolute tear. This honestly looks like a blow off top, honestly. I don't think the crash will be that bad. I'm sure like it'll just stall out and then like go sideways, or yeah, it may be a significant crash. We'll have to see. This from here, from 2011 to 2015 was 44%. This bear market from 2016 down to 2018, 18%, 21%. So we'll see. I knew we would have a fifth wave extension. A lot of people were saying your wave 5 is too big. I'm saying no, it's not. This is a wave 5 extension. This is what happens in this asset class whenever you have a blow off top. There's a scramble for gold. Right? Wave 5 extension, let's just see where it extended to. Let's see here. Okay, it's above the 1. It's above the 1 right now. And then if we just zoom in a little bit more. Not saying this is the top, I'm just placing this here for the time being. Right? So if we just take a look at this fifth wave. Could the top be in? It's going to take some time to top out. We'll see. You have to be very careful though, placing waves on gold, because it'll disrespect your account a lot, because it's like there's more to gold than just TA. So I would always recommend using the moving averages instead. But as you guys can see from an Elliott wave point of view, looks like we're we're getting exhausted here because this is a wave 5 of 5 of 5. It may go higher than 33, 30. I mean, it just made a new all-time high, but I'm sure it's going to get exhausted, and that would be pretty good for BTC, because like it moves the opposite. What we can also do here on gold is take a fib from the all-time high in 2011 down to the bear market low in 2015. Take a look at the 2.618. Wow, it's there right now. Okay. Yeah, I think gold may stall out here. There's a big possibility. It's more likely than not, right? And the reason I say that is because from an Elliott wave point of view, yeah, we have wave 5 of 5 of 5. But just the fibs are telling us that looks a little bit too extended. Let's check the RSI. The stock RSI is at the highs. MACD, RSI here, and Bollinger Band width indicator. Let's check it on the 2-week. Take a look at the quarterly chart here. Okay, we have divergence playing out on the quarterly chart here. You see this bearish divergence? And then, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna grind its way out. It could still make more all-time highs as the days go on. However, it may stall out a bit. Maybe this wave count is wrong, right? That could also be the case. But what concerns me a little bit about gold for bulls is that it came up to this 2.618 relative to the 2011 high down to the 2015 low. So we'll see how it plays out. Let's go back to BTC. What's up, Fingenzo? Nice to have you here. AB is asking, can you do OGN? Yeah, we'll do OGN, no problem. We'll do cake. We'll do CRV. Lala is asking for CRV. He's been asking for that for some time, but I didn't get to it. So we're gonna take a quick look at CRV, and you can see here. Let me go on this chart right here. Just change the layout a bit. Wow, it doesn't look bad. Looks really good. I think CRV is bottomed. And you know, like I said in the last stream, right? The rest of the market may look very uncertain, or most of the market, I should say. Then when you take a look at like a few coins and you start to see bullish order flow and signs of a bullish reversal, then you can just know like this that yeah, the market's bottomed. It's just the rest of the coins are taking their time. So you can get those signals just off a few coins, like almost like a barometer. But yeah, as you can see here, CRV has come down to the 786. We'll take a look at this on the logarithmic scale, and you can see here that we've perfectly tapped the 786, or sorry, the 702. You guys see that? Boom. And then you have an inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? Where this is your left shoulder. Your head will always dip into, your head will always take out your sell side towards the 702 or the 786, and then you flip this high. So you see how we flipped this high on March 3rd? So this would be, so a move down here would be your break of structure. Then you go up, go up, go up. A bottom is not confirmed yet, even though we're in the range. But once you break this high, that would be considered your change of character. So you have a change of character here. So now we would be looking for entries at extremes within the range. So what we're going to do is take a fib from this inducement up to this high, and you can see, look where it came down to, right at the 702, 786. And then from there, we have a 5-wave move to the upside, and then we tap into high time frame supply. We can go on the daily time frame and see that it's tapped into high time frame supply here. Do you guys see that? You see this? Right? But it can even go higher. It can even go higher from here because I like the way that it backtested this 200-day. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see this bottoming doji off the 200-day? This long-legged doji, and then you have a bullish engulfing, and then the next day, and then today we have a doji. So the way that when you have a bullish engulfing and then a doji, you tend to have what's called a doji continuation pattern, and we can still go higher from here, right? But yeah, that's CRV. I'm super bullish on CRV, but we'd be taking a look at these targets, guys. Just take a simple fib from the all-time high down to the low, and we'd be taking a look at the 702 and the 786 at 230 and $3.13. From an Elliott wave point of view, you can consider this like a wave 1, a wave 2, 3, 4, and then we have an extension of the 5th, which would be around the 100%. You guys see that? Boom. Right there. So 312, 230 to 312 is where I'd be expecting. On the high time frame, like as a swing trade, but on the low time frame, we're looking pretty good here. Like how we came down to backtest this 200-day and then rallied from there. So now I've broken down. I've done a top-down analysis for you guys on CRV. Right? We've done the small time frame and we've already confirmed that there's bullish order flow here. But yeah, CRV looks good. Let's pop up the chat here. Let's see what else you guys are asking for. How many members are in here? Okay, let's see. Cool. All right, let's take a look at Litecoin over here. Damn, Litecoin looks good. This is a chart I made for my Discord members, and all we did was an ABC down to structural support. Like, look at that. You see how many times we've used this structural support? Since forever almost, right? Go on the daily time frame and you extend this to the left and look at that. It goes all the way back to 2013. That's over 10 years of data, right? 10 years, for over 10 years, we've been using this level as support and resistance. When we never really started to use it as support until 2022, like strong support. So now we see a macro trend shift on the you can even say yearly time frame. Can we go on the yearly here? Like, look how much times the prices interacted with that level. Wild, right? 4 month, the quarterly. You see the quarterly? Doesn't look bad. Go on the daily time frame again, and this just looks like an ABC. That's all it is. And like, yeah, like if you were to sometimes guys, it's not good to put Elliott wave on everything. Remember that. Because there's so many scenarios with Elliott wave, and like you can also like have a bias. Like, let's say your bias is bullish, or let's say your bias is bearish. Human psychology says that you're going to start looking for confirmation bias, right? So you have to be careful with Elliott wave. You need to use it more like as a risk management tool. But yeah, we can see here, ABC down to structural support. I'm not exactly sure how to wave this out, but I can see for sure that this is an ABC down, and it's like kind of like a slam down. You see how he slammed down here, and like I said, time versus price really matters. So I do think we're going to see a move back up to the 200-day at around 96.995. Taking a look here on the 4-hour time frame, this is where we would need to get over this guy right here. If we can get above this trend line, we're good. Okay. And then taking a look at the supports, these would be the supports. Boom. There you go. But we need to see Bitcoin follow through. Remember, don't forget about Bitcoin. I know you guys are in love with your altcoins, but we need to see what the leader of liquidity is doing. And it's looking good here so far on the 4-hour. On the 1-hour, it's looking good. Remember what I said? There's liquidity resting here at 86,563 above this range right here. So like I'm looking at the 200-day SMA to get tagged. And if the 200-day SMA gets tagged and then we have a flush down like that, that would be bearish. But if we tag the 200 and then kind of just come down and consolidate a bit and then continue up, that would be good. That would be bullish order flow. And then we can deny the possibility that this is a 5-wave move to the upside. I don't think the 5 waves are in yet. Let's go to XRP. See what it's doing. Yeah, XRP is looking fine. Let's go back to Litecoin over here. I want to take a look at the targets. And very simple thing you can do, just take a trend line like this and you can just see the shape that it's taking. It looks like it's some diagonal pattern here, and then you can see that it's just been accumulating at the lows, going up, oscillating up and down within this range. Right? It looks fine to me. Price action looks healthy. We had a fake out above this range. You can consider it like a deviation. Move back to the mean before you could say an ABC down to the mean of the accumulation range before we finally have our true expansion. We'd be looking at the linear fibs, and we'd be targeting 340 at the 786. Okay. You can also take a look at some higher values like the 1.382 and the 1.236 extension right over here. So 421 to 565. It looks pretty good, LTC. Okay, so John, so AB, not sure if you're still in the chat, but AB was asking for OGN. The great Santini is asking for DGB. I love DGB. I love that structure. Like, it's looking like DGB looks so good in my opinion. Like, it's like a sleeping giant. And so many people have forgotten about it until it pumps. Then they start to remember it. That's what happens with these coins. People don't care until it pumps. So let me see where I put DGB. I have so many layouts here that I want to make sure that we're on the right DGB here. Let me just switch this to the white. Yeah, I think this is it, my DGB. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. So like I said, for DGB, it would number one need to hold these lows here. And now it's gone from making lower lows and lower highs. So this is your lower lows. We've been making lower lows since December 2024 down to February 2025. So about 3 months, and then making lower highs as well. Now we've shifted to making higher lows and slightly higher highs. So if this higher low structure can hold, and we can hold this level right here at the 786, then wouldn't surprise me that we go ahead and take out this equal high buy side liquidity. You can consider this like equal highs, even though the high is not exact. It's still equal highs. Like if you look at it like this, it's still equal high. So I think it's going to take out equal high buy side liquidity sitting at 0.0021. See a little bit of a retrace maybe for a wave 4, and then come up for an extension of the fib towards this 786, sitting at 0.006 and 0.062 and 0.083. Okay, now that would actually, we would also be tagging this, let me see here. Do we have any inefficiencies higher? We don't, but I'm showing this in the last stream actually. This is a pure institutional algo that we have here. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. Okay. So you have your run up like this, then you come down for an ABC, then you have another ABC, and you slightly sweep this high. You take out this external range, and then you have your bear market. But this bear market terminates at the 786. So you have your price-based capitulation, and then you have your accumulation. Very long and drawn out process, makes people pull their hair out, drives them insane. Right? You have some fake outs along the way. And then finally, you have expansion. And then this would be your accumulation range here. You see? Now you guys tell me, is DGB doing anything different than this? Right? It's the same thing. Okay, so we got to do OGN for this member, or for this guy named AB. So we'll do OGN here. We'll just do a very quick analysis. And yeah, same thing. We need to get above this trend line. Same thing with every coin on the small time frame. Let's see here. Yeah, so OGN, I want to see 6 cent get flipped into support. Now, it does have, remember that thing I was telling you guys about where you see 3 floors of price action, where you have your first floor, your second floor, and then your third floor. But we need to first see this level get flipped, right? And then it would kind of be something like CRV in a sense, where you form a little bit of a inverted head and shoulders, right? But yeah, we need to see that level get flipped at 6 cent. So let's see. Good morning, Ricky. Nice to have you here, bro. Hope all is well. We're going to take a look at ZBCN and XEN. No problem. ACH as well. I like ACH. I'm bullish on ACH. For the members that are just joining, we have this range here on BTC. Right here on the hourly. You guys see that? And then draw on liquidity would be the 200. And we can even see that on the liquidity heat map, we do have about 162 to 160, 104, or yeah, $160 million dollars of liquidation. So let's see here, just above that range. So I think we're gonna tag it. I think we're gonna tag it this morning. It's 2:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. A lot of the people here operate in London and Asian session, but I'm thinking by New York pre-market New York or New York AM intraday, we should hit this 200 day. Let's just see. Right now we're in a range. We have liquidity right here, but we also have liquidity lower here below these equal lows. So let's see, which side do we take out first? Right now it's trending towards the upside, and it's above the 9 and 21 period on the 4 hour. See, it's now above the 21 period. When we first did the stream, it wasn't below. Or sorry, it wasn't above, it was below it. So we'll see how it plays out. What's up, Dilkansky? Hope you're doing well. Alright, let's take a look at XEN here. Now, XEN, remember what I said, you can see a few coins and see that the market is starting to rev its engines up, but I want to just see here on XEN. XEN came up to the 38.2% fib. Actually came up to the 618. So is this the start of our fifth wave to the upside, or is this an ABC on XEN? We have to see, right? It all comes down to what Bitcoin is going to do. If Bitcoin goes higher, then we can say, yeah, okay, wave 4 is in. We're going to be headed up for our wave 5 targets to around 0.07 to 0.154. These are your wave 5 targets and exit levels, not financial advice. You have a 5-wave move up here, and then you have an A, a B, and then a C for your wave 2. And then you have another 5-wave move with an extension in the 5th. This could be your wave 4 termination, or it could be your A wave. So we have to stay cognizant. You know what I really like though on XEN is that it came down to the 200 day and then popped off hard. Like look at that tap, how it perfectly tapped the 200 day and then popped up. So let's see. I mean, XRP did the same thing. Taking a look at XRP here, no different, right? Came down to the 200. See the 200 there on the weekly? Wicked below it, but then the weekly closed back above it. And we're still above the 2021 high. You guys see that? Or sorry, 2021 close. This was your top here in 2021. We're still above it. And we're above the 200. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think the 200 day is going to get hit at 87.75. Not financial advice. So now this was a live stream for Asian session, London to Asian session. Or sorry, yeah, Asian session. Now I might do another live stream tomorrow for New York, for all my New York or Eastern, anyone that operates on Eastern Standard Time. So I may do another live stream for them later today. That's why I put the title as Thursday, Friday. So what's up, AB? I did OGN for you, bro. Just scroll back and then you'll see it. But basically on OGN, we have to flip 6 cents into support. Did I get that? Let me see here. OGN. Yeah, so you see OGN? We just need to flip this level at 6 cent. Once you flip that level, then it's good. Okay. Can you guys see here? Boom. Damn, I think I lost it. I don't know. Okay, let's go back to it. BTC liquidity heat map right there. Come on, BTC, let's go to 86. Let's go to 87. See what these market makers do in Asian session. So Dilkansky says, I'm in love with my altcoins. Yeah. everyone loves their... Actually, not everyone. I know a lot of people who are just totally despondent. But those who can see the charts and those who are taking proper guidance, yeah, they should be in love with their altcoins. Because we still have a lot of upside. If you're holding strong coins, Dilkansky's in the Discord. I know his portfolio. I think he should do well. So let's take a look at another coin. We're gonna take a look at SHX on the Stellar Network, and let's see what's going on here on the daily. Where did this come? You got to see, where did this correction come down to relative to the August 2024 lows? And it's come down to the 786. Came down to the 702 actually on the log scale. So will we flush? Will we flush like this, or will we get back above the 200 at 0.010 and then confirm that the low is in over here? Because remember I said in my last live stream, let's say the price comes down to the 702, right? It'll have a retraction back up or a retrace. Everyone thinks it's the bottom at the 702, slams down to the 786 very slightly, just takes out the lows very slightly to the 786, and then you have a V-shaped recovery, change of character, retrace, or partial decline, and then continuation. Or it can just bottom here at the 702. So let's see. We would just need to first get a move above the 200 day, sitting at 0.010. Let's actually take a look at SHX on this chart here, just so we can get a full wave count. I don't think CoinTrader is working actually. I think they're doing updates on the API. So this is what happens when they're doing updates on the API. It's just doesn't load. We'll see. Yeah. SHX. Will it work? Yeah. They're updating CoinTrader. Let me see which chart has the most history. So before I give you targets for SHX, I want to first let you know that we would need to get back above the 200 day at 0.01 in order to confirm that the low is in, because this scenario could still occur where we take out this low, tap the 786, and then go up from there, right? So we have to, and okay, so now let's just say this was the low. We would just take a fib from this high down to this low and just simply take a look at the major fibs. You guys see? And okay, something like that. Now it makes sense why this wave 4 looks like that, because this, look how shallow this wave 2 was. This is the law of alternation. The law of alternation in the Elliott wave theory, which states that if you have a simple wave 2, you'll tend to have a complex and a little bit of a longer and drawn out wave 4. So are we seeing a flat pattern that is terminated already? Or will she come down to the 786? More importantly, will she hold the 786? So this doesn't become an expanded flat. But remember, BTC, can't forget about it. What's BTC doing here? Let's go on the hourly. Okay, so we're going to do a few more coins and then I'm going to wrap up the stream. And we'll start up another stream in New York session. No problem. All right, let's take a look at ZIL. Ricky is a member of the Discord. So Yeah, we'll take a look at ZIL. We'll take a look at ZBCN. What are some other coins that you guys have? Or we took a look at SHX. RSR as well. Okay, let's take a look at ZIL. You know, ZIL doesn't look bad at all. Look how it found support off this 50 period on the 4 hour. It's above the 21 period. We're taking out this trendline liquidity. The question is, will she be able to sustain herself above this trend line? And then more importantly, will ZIL be able to get above this 618, 702, and 786? Okay, so we just need to get above this level here on ZIL. Once you get above this level, then we're good. We're good to take out these highs. And then, you know, let me see. Then we'd be targeting this inefficiency right over here on the daily, right over here. That's your inefficiency that I'm targeting. That would be sitting at 0.012, which would be about an 8.8% gain from current price, 8.8 to 12% gain. And then if you can get above this level and then, you know, see here on the 30-minute, kind of like an inverted head and shoulders, right? Like, look at this. Do you guys see that? Where you have a left shoulder, head, and then a right shoulder. I just want to see a move above this level so we can confirm that. Market doesn't look bad, guys. I gotta say, market looks pretty good. We could be seeing a reversal, and then this would be your deviation. So this guy over here would be considered your manipulation down. You see? Boom. And then, like I said, whenever you want to spot accumulation, look for 3 floors of price action. This is your first floor, your second floor, and then you have your third floor right here. And every single time we've swept a floor of price action, we rally hard. Like this was 225%. This was 238%. Which one will this be? Right? Now we have to take a look at we can also measure the inducements as well. So this was a 14% deviation, this one was a 20% deviation. This one was 17%. Let me see. Yeah, so I mean, we could have bottomed here. It's possible. And then we have an head and shoulders pattern at the bottom. Remember what I said. This is the algo that market makers love to use at the lows in crypto. They like to print a head and shoulders pattern at the lows to fake everyone out before it runs hard. That's what I've noticed. And then if we take a fib from the bear market low, 2020, up to this high, 2021, we can see that just come down to the 702. There you go. I think the low is in. I could be wrong, but I'm going to tell you guys that what I think. And then this is your internal range liquidity. This guy right here at 22 cent. But before we target that, let's take a look at all the other fibs here. Okay. And then what you can do is take a fib from the last drop-off point. That was the week of December 2nd, 2024. And let's just say this is your low at the 702. You want to take a look at the linear fibs. So we'll take a look here if we have any confluence. And we have a lot of confluence at the 786 at around 12 to 13 cent. There you go. Boom. Look where that 4.236 is. Right there. Yeah, about a 10x, you know, same market structure as Dent. Dent is doing this exact structure. So yeah, that's what I see. Just want to see this level get flipped. If we can flip this level here at 0.013, then we should be okay. Should be good. Intermediate target would be at the 786 at 0.03. 8 or yeah 0.030. But yeah. So Dicky is asking for cake. Above all is asking for AVAX. Look how squeezed cake is over here. Like, do you guys see how squeezed this is? So let's just see. Let's just see what it does. It's going to consolidate here. Just let it play out. Don't fight this trend. Don't do futures. Don't sell your bag because you see a little wick on the small time frame. Just zoom out and realize that it's still consolidating. Boom and boom. I think it's gonna come up to the 618 and maybe even wick to the 702 at 14. So 10 to 14, and then make its way back to this range here at $4 buck. This is cake. So this was the live stream for today. I'll probably do another live stream around New York session. So I hope to see you guys there. I'll probably do it around pre-New York, so around 6 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll make sure to post the link in the Telegram so you guys can click it. But it was nice seeing you guys all here. Nice having you guys and answering all your questions. Peace out. Take it easy. I'll see you guys in the next one.